Do you agree that real leaders are forged in silence, not applause? Do you agree that the choices you make alone echo louder than any speech you give on stage? And do you agree that somewhere inside you already feel the pull to rise, even when no one is looking? If you're nodding, or even just quietly agreeing inside, then I'm going to share with you the 5 most potent, soul-shaping lessons drawn from one of the most influential leadership thinkers of our time, Simon Sinek. He's the man who reminded the world to start with why, who showed us that people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. His work reignited a timeless truth, that leadership isn't a title, it's a calling, one fueled by purpose, service, and an unshakable inner compass. Hi, I'm Austin, and this is Cinemalizer, where real stories ignite real change. Today, I'm inviting you deeper, beyond the spotlight, beyond the metrics, beyond the crowd's approval. Because leadership does not begin on stages, it begins in shadows, in the unrecorded moments where character has no audience but conscience. You see, the modern world worships visibility. Influence is counted in followers, clout measured in likes, leadership mistaken for volume. But history will tell you a different story. The leaders who changed civilizations, the ones whose ripples still reach us centuries later, were shaped when nobody celebrated them. In lonely prison cells, on quiet walks at dawn, during agonizing nights of doubt where they faced the only critic that matters, themselves. Nelson Mandela discovered his true strength through 27 silent, brutal years on Robben Island. Mother Teresa chose unseen alleys of Calcutta long before the global spotlight found her. Rosa Parks made her stand not with cameras flashing, but on an ordinary bus seat, in an ordinary city, on an ordinary day, yet the ordinary became holy because she refused to surrender her dignity. That is the crucible of real leadership, unseen, uncelebrated, uncomfortable, and that is where you must go. So how do you cultivate that kind of courage? How do you lead when the crowd isn't cheering, when the metrics don't validate, when the reward is only the quiet knowledge that you did what was right? Simon Sinek teaches that your why is the engine, the North Star, the oxygen. But here's the twist, your why cannot be external. If your fuel is applause, the first moment silence falls, you'll stall. So dig past the noise. Why do you wake up? What breaks your heart enough to fix it? What future can you see so clearly you'd crawl through failure to reach it? Write it. Burn it into your mind. Let it become the subterranean fire no storm can extinguish. When no one is watching, the ego screams for validation. Ignore it. Instead, ask, who can I lift today, even if they never know my name? A leader's shadow deeds become the sunlight of others. Hold the door, give the idea away. Mentor in anonymity, because the universe has a ledger deeper than social media. Character compounds, service multiplies, and one day when the spotlight does find you, it will reveal the greatness you built in secret. There will be crossroads where dishonesty looks profitable, shortcuts look efficient, and nobody is around to call you out. That is the precise moment your destiny hangs in the balance. Simon reminds us that trust is the currency of leadership, and trust is minted in private decisions. Return the extra change. Admit the small mistake. Decline the shady favor. Because the habit of small integrity prepares you for the day a monumental choice tests your soul. Courage is like muscle. It grows by repetition. Speak up in the meeting when your voice shakes. Say sorry first when pride begs you to wait. Volunteer for the task no one wants. These micro acts stretch the fabric of your character until boldness becomes your baseline. True leadership plays the infinite game. Seeds germinate underground before they pierce the soil. Dreams mature in obscurity before they command the skyline. So when progress seems invisible, remember the bamboo, spending years building unseen roots before its sudden skyward surge. Your unseen faithfulness today is root work for tomorrow's visible forest. Now breathe. Let that settle. Because theory without embodiment is just noise. Let's paint the scene of your everyday life and infuse these lessons into real moments. Picture a dawn, when the alarm rings before sunrise. No one cares if you hit snooze, but you rise. You lace up shoes for a cold run. No feed will chronicle, but you run. With every stride you whisper, I am the caretaker of my vessel. Those I will lead deserve my stamina. Later you're at work. A colleague gossips, stoking negativity. No manager listens. No HR camera records, but you refuse to add flame. You redirect the talk toward solutions. That small hinge shifts the day's energy for everyone who walks through that doorway. At home, your child asks for a story. You're exhausted. Deadlines howl, but you kneel beside the bed and read anyway. Your tone is gentle, your presence entire. That is leadership in slippers, unseen by boardrooms, yet forming a soul who will one day lead others. And finally, in the silent night, you review your day. Where did ego try to rule? Where did courage triumph? Where can you serve deeper tomorrow? This nightly audit refuels your inner lighthouse. Tomorrow you repeat. No medals, no viral clips, yet every invisible victory carves the granite of your legacy, until the day others look at you and say, "That one leads differently. I can feel it." You might wonder, does it matter if no one knows? Yes, because leadership isn't performative art, it's planted art. Oak trees don't broadcast their root systems, yet forests depend on them. Rivers don't brag about their underground springs, yet cities drink because of them. Your unseen courage becomes the quiet infrastructure on which futures are built. Listen, history is changed by ordinary people moving faithfully in ordinary hours. The nurse who holds a patient's hand after the machines stop. The teacher who stays late to counsel the silent kid, the bystander who steps in when a bully taunts. Cameras rarely roll, but heaven surely does. So the question is no longer, will I be noticed? The question is, will I be noble? Because one day the spotlight will arrive, maybe in a boardroom, maybe in a crisis, maybe on a global stage. And when it does, it won't create your leadership, it will expose it. The crowd will simply amplify what the shadows have been shaping. Imagine that moment. The emergency hits. Eyes swivel to you. Will your voice quake with practiced courage or crumble from practiced compromise? The answer is written right now, in your midnight choices, your secret kindnesses, your hidden discipline. And if you falter, because we all do, remember, leadership is not about flawlessness. It's about relentless alignment. Fall 7, rise 8. Apologize quickly, adjust course humbly, recommit loudly, even if the only ears that hear your vow are the walls of your room. Let's return to Simon Sinek's heartbeat. Leaders eat last. Why? Because leadership is sacrifice. When the meal is scarce, the leader ensures the team is fed first. That habit may never trend, but it trains a tribe to trust, and trust is the soil where collective greatness grows. So here's your charge. Tonight, when no one sees, declare your why again. Tomorrow, when no one applauds, serve anyway. Next week, when shortcuts beckon, choose integrity. Every day, flex micro courage. All year, play the long game. Do this, and a strange miracle unfolds. You will magnetize the right people, repel the wrong, and sculpt a life that feels lighter because it is truer. Then, when the spotlight lands, whether on a stage, a sickbed, or a single soul who needs hope, you won't need to act like a leader. You will simply continue being who you have practiced becoming all along. And on the final day, when the world rolls its collective credits and your name flickers across the screen of history, the verdict will not come from commentators. It will come from those unseen moments, tallied in silent archives. Did you love well? Did you serve first? Did you keep your word when breaking it was cheaper? Did you lead when no one was watching? Answer yes to those, and you have lived a life that no applause could ever amplify, and no silence could ever diminish. So step into the shadows tonight with courage. Forge the habits that cameras can't capture, because the truest crown is invisible, worn only by those whose integrity glows in the dark, and the world broken, weary, longing, is waiting for the light you kindle when no one else can see.